Assalamu alaikum, this is SaqibSaab and these are my Ramadan Chronicles for 2011, Day 10.
Allahu Akbar.
For Day 10, we're talking about the TARAWIH wars. What I mean by the TARAWIH wars are a debate, or rather is a debate, that I've been hearing in regards to where you should pray your Tarawih. Now, like any established Muslim city in America, or not Muslim city, but city where there's a lot of Muslims, they have different options to pray here in Southeast Michigan. And specifically where I'm living in Northville, Michigan, within the 15-minute type of radius from where I am, or anywhere I can get to within 15 minutes, I have at least one to two, maybe three different options as to where to pray, but I consider two of them. The first is MIC, which is like a small musallah. It's an organization that's kind of started up in this Northville area. They don't have like a builder or anything like that. They tried to get one, didn't really work out. But for Ramadan, this is for the second or third year, I think, they're renting out a community center in downtown Northville where they have Tarawih. And there's about 40 to 50 people there. And I've been going there. It's been pretty nice. On the flip side, I can go to the MCWS, which is the Muslim community of the western suburbs of Detroit, and that's like the big masjid. It's about 15 minutes away, and it's also known as Canton Masjid, right? And that's where all the people go. It's a really big masjid. It's been there for a while. A lot of community members are there, old school. They established it a while ago. There's a school. It's very similar to IFS in Chicago, right? You have IFS, western suburbs of Chicago, by about 25 miles west of the city. You have MCWS, which is 25 miles west of Detroit, give or take. It's also known as Canton Masjid. This is also, as just like that, IFS is also known as Villa Park Masjid. So there's some similarities there, right? And there's a school and everything. So there's two different places where I can choose to pray, amongst others, but let's just stick to those for now. So I have like the small musalla and like the big masjid, right? So people have their preferences, right? And they go to wherever they're going. And if I'm guessing the people who come to Masalla here in Northville are the people who live closer to here, obviously, because it's close, it's convenient, and the only reason they're going to give up praying in the big masjid, where a lot of people are and where they might have grown up praying, is now they're going here because it's something that's new and it's close by. So I've been hearing something very interesting between the two sides as to where people should or shouldn't pray. On one side, on let's say the large masjid side, this isn't from everybody, right? But I've been hearing some people saying that, oh, why would you pray at the small masalla? It's all about the big masjid. We've got tons of people. It's a real masjid. There's an imam there, the sound system. This is like the real deal. This is where it's at. And on the flip side, the small masalla, I've been hearing some people say, like, why do people go all the way to the big masjid, right? Especially the people who live closer to the masalla. Why are you going all the way that far? I mean, it's so far, it's so crowded, parking's a problem, like the heat issues, there's so many people. If you're a woman, there's just so many kids, you can't concentrate, and then it's so late, there's fundraising, there's khatras, and it's just, it's not a good experience. And maybe it comes to a point where they kind of, not necessarily look down, but they kind of think twice about people who choose to go to the big masjid, especially if they're living closer to the small masalla. So you got two different sides here. On one side, you got pro-masjid and anti-masalla, and then on the other you have pro-masalla, anti-masjid. And it's not like real, like they don't feel deep down inside from the people. I heard that, oh, I would loathe to pray in one place or the other, but you can kind of see that they have their preferences. Now, where do I kind of fit in between the two? I've been going to MIC all this time. It's only because of convenience. I've been planning to go to the big masjid, Canton Masjid, but I haven't had a chance. Inshallah, I really, really would like to go, and I'll go soon. But I think for each of the two sides, both are cool or whatever, but I think both also need to have a little bit of a reputation, and I'd like to provide that here. For the side is talking about the big masjid being all that, and the small masjid is being, nothing really worthwhile. You don't need a lot of people. You don't need an amazing sound system. You don't need a specific type of imam or qari. You don't need a masjid in order to pray tarawih. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ, he did pray in the masjid tarawih, and then people would join him. Then he made it a point to go pray at home. It's because he didn't want to make it obligatory on us, right? If he kept doing it over and over, maybe there's a chance that we would have to pray tarawih every single night without fail. For a lot of people, that might be difficult. And that was the wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ. But the point is, when the companions prayed there, or later after he passed away, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they continued praying, what was the point of tarawih? It was the Quran and the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you recite while you are praying tarawih, or while you're following the imam. So the small masalla, it might not have tons and tons of people. It might not have valet parking because there's such a huge crowd at the facility. It might not even be a real masjid, right? But they're still reciting the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on that note, yesterday at tarawih, they were reciting Surah Yusuf. That's how far they are in the Quran. And if you know me, I happen to have that surah like memorized, and I love it, and I'm just a huge fan of that surah. So when that surah was recited, I was so happy. My concentration jumped and skyrocketed through the roof, right? And I don't know Arabic. I happen to know the surah. I took a tafsir class on it once, listened to some various tafasir that are online. I haven't really read like official tafasir. I don't know Arabic. I don't know the intricacies of Arabic grammar. I just know a little bit about the surah, and my mind was just blown away. Even though I'm in a small masalla, there's only 40 people, there's no sound system, so on and so forth. The point is, yes, the big masjid is cool and all, and it's a nice experience, right? But that's not what it really comes down to. It comes down to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the flip side, the small masalla crowd. Now, I understand it's more convenient, it's easy, it's close by, and there's not that many people. It's not chock full of fundraising and khataras and all that, and you might like that as a person. But if somebody wants to go to the masjid, the huge masjid, and they want that experience, and maybe they grew up praying there and all their friends are there and they enjoy that, then more power to them, and don't bash on them, right? Don't try to be a hater on what they're trying to do. Ibadah is something that's personal. As I was reading on one of my friend's Twitters, he has it private, but sometimes what he says is really cool. He said, my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is between me and him. Don't try to throw your like cookie cutter like constructs onto me. It's between me and my Lord. Someone wants to pray in the big masjid, right? Don't hate on them. More power to them. Let them do what they need to do. And at the same time, if you want to pray in the musalla, then that's cool too. Go ahead, do your thing. Whatever it takes for you to connect with your Lord, especially during this month. But don't look down on others. On one side, for people who are going to the big place, and you might not like going out because it makes it late and it's very crowded and you're not into that, but someone else is. As long as they're going there praying, khalas man, just leave it alone. On the flip side, right, the masalla might not be as grand and amazing as your haram masjid that you have, but it's still a masalla. It's still where people are praying, and it's still where the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are being recited. So I don't have like one side or it's wrong or one side is right or whatever. I think this is something we have to be careful about, and something I noticed, and that's my refutation. You have been refuted by the not the scholars, not on PDF, but by me on YouTube. So that's just my take on it. Let me know where you guys are praying tarawih. How many people come to your masjid? What's it like? Do you have different options? Are you considering one option or the other? Are you going somewhere new this year? And inshallah, we'll go from there. But one thing I wanted to mention is one of my friends, Imam Shawkatullah from Chicago. He's doing a really cool project similar to the 30 Days and 30 Mosques project that Aman Ali and that other brother do. He's doing 30 nights and 30 mosques in Chicago on a micro scale. It's really cool. I wish I was back home. I could, hit it up with him one day, and he's blogging it. I'll put the link for the blog in the comments. Inshallah, you can check it out. But let me know what your 30 days and your 30 mosques, or one mosque or two mosques are like. Inshallah, I'll talk to you guys later. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.